You're listening to Let's Talk About It, a digital forum that holistically addresses the issues that arise in everyday life and the current affairs that are prevalent throughout our nation and that affect our culture. Let's join host Typriece Hanner now for today's discussion.
Let's talk about it.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. I am your host, Typriece Hanner, but of course, everybody, and I do mean everybody, calls me Ty. Thank you for allowing me to hang out with you for a few minutes. So fam, how's it going? How are you guys doing? What have you all been up to? Well, as usual, I hope wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope life is good. And you know what? It should be. Why? Because God is good. Can I get a witness somewhere out there? God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. So fam, get this. I had the opportunity to be a part of a panel over this past weekend for an event that was hosted in our region called Save Our Sons, aka SOS. It was an event designed to talk about the issues that actually plague the young men in the African American community particularly, but ultimately all of today's youth. We had the opportunity to discuss possible solutions that would change the trajectory of today's generation. And I must admit, it was a pretty impactful event, and I was grateful to be a part. And to be honest with you, and listen to me very carefully, and I know that this is going to sound a little odd or unorthodox as a preacher, but I actually enjoy being a part of forums like that more than I enjoy being a part of an actual worship service. Yeah, I know it sounds strange, and please just hear me out before you totally disapprove of what I said. It's not that I hate worship services or think that they are unnecessary, but events like SOS and some of the others, it gives us opportunities to deal more directly with the issues that plague our community without all of the formalities of a worship service. And it gives us the opportunity to get down into the trenches and offer a helping hand. And so I really enjoyed the privilege to be a part of a panel where we were offering solutions that will help this generation to help point them in the right direction. Because this generation is facing issues that are greater in proportion than what many of us have faced growing up. And we need wisdom and a strategy as to how to help our children fight against all of the things that they are having to face now. The safety of our educational institutions is being threatened like never before. When I was growing up, and many of you may disagree, but when I was growing up, at most, what we saw in our schools were nothing but fights among our peers. And occasionally a child would think that they could outmouth the teacher, but that was the most action that we saw. But nowadays, children are going to school not even knowing if they're going to return because they have become innocent prey to someone's stray bullet. And we need to do more than just shake our heads. Yes, praying is good, but we also need to be getting involved. We need to demand from our politicians and lawmakers that they do something to ensure the safety of our children while they are in school. What happened at Columbine and what happened in Newtown, Connecticut, what happened in Parkland, Florida, and DeKalb, Illinois, what happened even recently in Texas, those things should not be taking place at our learning institutions. We're going to have to place a demand on our government to revise gun laws in America. There should be no reason, as prestigious as our country is, and as wealthy and as strong as our country is, our gun laws should not be stricter. There are stricter gun laws in third world countries than the gun laws are in America, and that should not be. That should not be, family. So I urge you, civic leaders, pastors, and other religious leaders, I urge you, parents, and even as a future parent myself, we should get involved. We need to demand stricter and safer gun laws. We need to make sure that when our children go to school, that they are going to return home to us safely. And the only way that that is going to happen is that we must be involved. I hope you're hearing me, family. We need to be involved. You know, as I was watching the news and videos on social media of parents expressing their frustration, their anger, their pain at the loss of their child, I couldn't help but become grieved myself. Because the fact of the matter is, even though I may not have a child yet, I can only imagine the response that I would give at hearing the news that my child's life has been innocently taken. I just know that I would not be able to hold it together. And so my prayers and my concern goes to those parents, especially in Texas, and to all of those whose children have fallen prey to the stray bullets of some egomaniac. I hate to use that term, but that's the term that comes to mind, of someone who was just being foolish. And so my prayers go out to them, but we need to be involved. I cannot stress that enough, family. I cannot stress the fact that we need to be involved. I know that there are a lot of things that are going on in America, in our country currently, but there is something that we can do immediately now about this particular situation. There's something now that we can do. There is something now that we can do to resolve the gun issues in America. So I urge you with all of my heart to get involved. Well, listen, family, that's all I wanted to share with you today. That's my time. I hope you've enjoyed our little discussion today. You already know I have. But will you please do me a little favor and share this with at least 3 people and tell them to subscribe to this podcast. They can subscribe through the various mediums: Apple Podcasts, Google, Pandora. I am on YouTube. And please, I'm asking all of you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Let's Talk About It with Ty Hanner, because eventually we're going to be going live from YouTube. Also, we're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Verbal, or anywhere that you may receive podcasts. As I stated earlier, all you have to do is just type in Let's Talk About It with Ty Hanner and hit subscribe, and they will be updated with all of my latest episodes. If you like what you hear, or you have a particular topic that you'd like to discuss, you already know what to do. Just simply send me an email at ltaipodcast29501@gmail.com, or you can simply just shoot me a text message at area code 843-799-7619. You already know I want to hear from you. Well, once again, thank you for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. I am Ty Hanner. I'm out. Peace.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
You've been listening to Let's Talk About It.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.